Welcome to the webinar. So basically, this webinar is all about ChatGPT and AI. So we are Skill Vortex, and this is a series of webinars which we have started named as Skill Connect. So Skill Vortex is basically a growing edtech platform focusing attention to upskill the youth of today through a plethora of programs made available online. Skill Vortex emphasizes on the needs and future aspirants of individuals connecting to the emerging industrial technologies and requirements. So, when it comes to your career, no questions should be left unanswered. Hence, presenting to you Skill Connect, an online series of interactive knowledge sharing webinars that cover the most prominent topics of your favorite field. Okay. So, presenting to you. Dive into the world of ChatGPT and AI with Akash Maurya. So basically, Akash is a certified data scientist currently working in Cognizant, and he's a data engineer too. His expertise lies in machine learning and AI, and he loves to teach data science. So he's also a mentor at our platform. Okay, so here I open the chat for Akash. You can continue and go ahead with the webinar.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Savani. Thanks for introduction. Um, yeah, I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Yeah. Okay. Great. So, hi guys. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Akash, as Savani introduced. I'm currently working in Cognizant as a data engineer. I'm a certified IBM certified data scientist. Right now, I've been also training, data science in data science for a couple of years, more than couple of years actually. So I'm here to, tell you exactly like the new things that you might have gone through, right? That is nothing but this data science and this ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, what exactly is ChatGPT? Right, how this ChatGPT came into this picture, right? So before that, what is in general artificial intelligence, what is in general machine learning. So we'll just have an introduction of AI, machine learning, and we will see from like what is the category under which ChatGPT falls, and if you have to create one, what is the path that you can follow, and how can you create a model similar to the ChatGPT. Not exactly ChatGPT, but I'll give you a path how you can similarly, how can you follow the path to learn the things and also go into this particular domain, right? So let's start. I will start sharing my screen. Let me just okay, perfect. So I hope you guys can see the screen now. So as I told you, like we are going to dive into the world of ChatGPT and AI. So what we'll be doing is we'll be exploring the possibilities and applications of artificial intelligence and how ChatGPT is leading our way. What is the path that you can take to be an expert in such things like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, and ChatGPT and all. So the first question that comes in our mind, like what is AI, right? So according to just Google, if you just Google what is AI, introduction of AI, or you can say definition of AI, so you will find plethora of definitions, right? So what definition says, like first definition that I have written, simply copying pasting it from Google. So artificial intelligence is perceiving and synthesizing and inferring the information demonstrated by machine as opposed to intelligence displayed by a non-human animals or a human. So basically, see, this is some complex introductions or complex understanding of AI that you are seeing. In general, if I have to explain AI, how do I explain AI to my viewers, to my students, is basically the one here that I have mentioned, right? So what is artificial? Artificial means something that is made by humans, not natural. And intelligence means ability to think, ability to reason, or ability to take decision. So if something that is not natural, something that is made by humans, and it has ability to think, ability to reason, or ability to take decisions, that we can say an artificial intelligence, right? It could be a hardware, it could be a software, it could be a totally programmable, mechanical programmable machine, right? So it could be anything, but it has, if that particular thing has that ability to think, reason, and take decisions based on certain environment, so that can be thought of as an artificial intelligence. You don't need to go and just know all these definitions. It's just a simple understanding of AI. This is how it could be. Okay. Now coming back to the next thing, what are the different types of AI? So there are different ways to classify AI. So first we can say the first classification is the narrow AI, AGI, and super AI. So narrow AI is basically when you create a particular model. Let's say you have created a image classification model, or let's say diabetes detection model, or any text classification model. So that particular AI, that particular model will be only capable of answering the question based on that particular domain, right? That is called a narrow AI. If you ask a question out of that domain, that will not be able to answer. That can be thought of as a narrow AI. Now, AGI is a general artificial intelligence. So we can say AGI means artificial general intelligence. So like humans, like a human can also know how to drive a car, a human can also know how to cook some food, a human will also know how to read a book, how to recognize apple oranges, how to recognize dogs of different breeds. All these different things can human do. So in general tasks that we all human do on a daily basis, if that is being done by an AI, so that can be thought of as an artificial general intelligence, right? A super AI means basically you might have gone through the movies, right? You might have gone through the movies like Terminator. Sorry. So you might have gone through the movies like Terminator, or even this Age of Ultron and all. So these can be thought of as a super artificial intelligence. Those can do tasks beyond our thinking as well, right? So these can do, can be categorized into these three different types of. So we are not even the era of AGI as of now, even though this Chatgpt is kind of an AGI, but not, we can say, an all. Okay. So the super AI is so far away from here right now, right? So that is an narrow. I mean, this is the first kind of classification. The second kind of classification that we can do is knowledge-based AI and data-driven AI. So knowledge-based AI is basically a technique like all the classical artificial intelligence that you see. For example, you might have seen the heuristic search, right? The A star search, right? So or you might have gone through different problem solving agents, right? So in AI, if you might have gone through, so basically we use tree for searching, and we use some knowledge there based on our previous history. So that we can say as a knowledge based AI. The second type of this AI is called data driven AI, which is basically in culture right now. So we are moving through the knowledge based AI right now. So sorry, the data driven AI, basically in which we feed the data and we train the model based on the data, and then the model will be able to answer the questions based on the data that we have given. For example, if I teach the data, let's say based on a given experience, what be the person's salary, right? We can include different features. For example, the age of the person, this experience of the person, the education background of the person, right? So all these things I can bring into the data, and if I create a model, so given all this information and the corresponding salary, the model can predict for a new person, if you give his educational qualification, if you give his experience, if you give his age, the model will be able to predict what will be its salary. So that is called data driven AI. So we train the AI or machine learning. Basically, machine learning is nothing but the subset of AI. So if we train the model based on the data, and then we try to answer the question on the new data, so that can be thought of as a data driven AI. So we mainly focusing on this data driven AI. Why this data driven AI today, data science is today booming? Because you see, there was a time when the computer was made like in a whole room, right? But right now, when you are wearing a real smartwatch, right, just a really small computer, if you buy an Apple Watch Ultra that costs 90,000 approximately, it can replace your mobile phone even, right? So even this tiny gadget has a huge amount of processing power that even back in the 90s, there was not, back in 1900s, somewhere when the computers started building, we were having the capacity of processing those things within a room, right? So we have that has come to our wrist now. So it is really good to basic understanding, right, how the computation power has grows. And since the era of this social media and YouTube and all has gone up, so basically there is a huge amount of data. So even if you travel uh, with turn on internet on your mobile phone, basically you are generating data for Google and its third party application, right? So basically that data is captured, your location data is captured, every kind of a data is captured, and then you are served ads based on that, right? So there is a huge amount of data and a huge computation power, and that meets us to the sweet spot of this data driven AI right now, and the data science as well, even though data analyst as well, right? Now the next thing you might have learned about this, AI, ML, deep learning, data science, maths, and so what is the difference? I mean, no, what is the basic relationship between these terms? Okay, so if you see, an artificial intelligence is a whole superset of everything, where you have machine learning, deep learning, right? And then machine learning is another subset of deep learning. This AI, where we talk about the data-driven AI, not the particularly knowledge-based AI. And in machine learning, we have all the classical algorithms you might have heard about: the KNN, linear regression, logistic regression, polynomial regression, naive-based decision trees, support vector machines, and all, right? Even though clustering algorithms and all. So all these, like you might have heard about these three types of learning techniques that I will cover next slide. So that all comes under the AI itself, right? And then deep learning we have, where we have all the similar tasks that we talked about in the machine learning, right? The predictive modeling, but we use a different modeling technique. Okay. So there we use uh, we try to mimic how our human brain works. So we try to exactly create a model that can mimic the human brain, or we create an artificial neural network. So in our mind, we have biological neural networks. So here we create artificial neural networks that actually deals with how the learning exactly happens for humans in their mind, that actually create the same kind of networks, and that works really well. So today's all the advancements that has been happening, even Chatgpt uses this deep learning technique for its modeling, right? So it's very effective, and that's how we are be able to create a human-like intelligence, or even more in this Chatgpt and all. So talking about now, if you combine maths, statistics, data analysis, and all these things, all these technique into this ML, AI, and deep learning, so that junction becomes what? Data science. So if I explain it again, so if you have a data analysis, so the data analyst must know the maths, must know the statistics, and some analysis concepts as well, right? Like dashboarding, storytelling, and all. But if you combine it with machine learning, that becomes a data science, right? So it's nothing but a data analysis with machine learning and AI and deep learning. That becomes a data science. So that junction becomes the data science. Now I hope this understanding might have been clear. And one more thing, if you have anywhere, if you seems like you don't understand, so you can simply interrupt me and ask the questions, and you can also put your question in the chat section as well. I will also take the question at the end of this session as well. So this is the basic relationship between all these different terminologies. Let's have machine learning, the bigger picture of machine learning, what exactly a machine learning is. Okay, so as I said, machine learning is a subset of the AI. Okay. So machine learning, a subset of artificial intelligence that involves the use of algorithms and statistics modeling uh, to enable computer system to learn from the data points itself without being explicitly programmed, right? So as I said, this is a part of the data driven AI. So it will not be programmed to answer the question, but it will be programmed to learn the relation between input and output that you are giving. So once it has got the understanding of input and output, if you give a new input, it will process that into an output that we really want. So as I given an example, let's say you want to predict the salary of someone. So first you need to give the data regarding that. First you need to give the data of thousands of people. As much as data you can, you will give the data to that machine learning model, and based on that, it will then use a new data to predict the salary, right? The data, the corresponding salary, right? So first you need to give the data. So that's why we call it a data driven AI, right? That's why the machine learning comes under that data driven AI. And as I said, without being explicitly programmed means that don't think that we are not going to program anything. We are not going to program the logic of answering the question, but we will be programming how to learn the relationship between the input and output, so that on a given data you can apply the same relationship and give the output, right? So there are three basic types of learning techniques. We have supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. Sometimes you might have also get the transfer learning and also the semi-supervised learning. So basically those comes under these anyhow. So let's see what is actually supervised learning. Supervised learning is a type of machine learning where the computer system is trained based on the label data. So if you have label data, so the label works as a supervisor, right? So as I told you, basically supervised machine learning has a supervisor in there, right? In the data itself, we have a supervisor. So when I talk about a label data, so that label is called as a supervisor. So let's say for an example, if I talk about apple and oranges classification, so when I show the model an apple, I am telling that this is an apple. So when I'm telling that this is an apple, that is nothing but the label, and that as a supervisor. So whenever the model is making wrong prediction or correct prediction, it is comparing with the actual values and knowing the feedback whether this is a correct prediction or wrong prediction. And based on that, if it is a wrong prediction, it can update itself. That's what we use in a back propagation, right? So when we have an error, right, that error will back propagate into the model and correct its weights. So that's how the supervised learning exactly happens, right? So in the data, basically supervised learning is a type of learning when we train on a labeled data. When I talk about unlabeled data, that becomes an unsupervised learning, right? For example, I'm showing an apple, but I'm not telling that this is an apple, right? So what kind of a task we can do particularly in this? For example, we can do this clustering task. Clustering means, let's say I have given bunch of fruits, right? I'm not telling you to recognize apple, oranges, and bananas in there, but I'm telling you, sorry, but I'm telling you to separate the fruits into 2 groups or 3 groups or 4 groups based on similarity and dissimilarity, right? So now, if you do this kind of a task, so that is called nothing but the clustering, and that comes under unsupervised learning. That has nothing to do with whether you know the name of the fruit or not, right? So that is called unsupervised learning and the clustering. Talking about the reinforcement learning, so a type of machine learning where the computer system learns by receiving the feedback from the environment. So in there, we implement something called reward and penalty policy, right? Either we can have separate reward and penalty policies, or decrement of the reward is nothing but the penalty policy. And the agent works based on only increasing the reward as much as it can. For example, when you are playing a snake game, so the snake game, let's consider the snake game a learning agent. So it has a reward, like it will gain the reward means increasing the score, right? So if you play the snake game multiple times, right? So the model will be able to understand how exactly the rules of the game are. Particularly, as I said, you will play the snake game. So you will not play the snake game. So the same thing will happen multiple times, like millions of times, and then the model based on that reward and penalty policy model will learn how to play the game. So that is called reinforcement learning. So as I said, the computer learns by receiving the feedback from the environment based on the reward and penalty, right? So if it does good thing that you want to do, so that will gain the reward. If it does the bad thing that you don't want the environment, the agent to do, then it will be penalized by reducing the reward or having some other penalty policy. So that comes under reinforcement learning. As I said, there are some other types of learning as well. For example, the transfer learning, where we have a base model and then we train on a new data. So that is called transfer learning. And then there we have also semi-supervised learning. In semi-supervised learning, we just combine the supervised and unsupervised learning. That's nothing but that only. Okay. Sorry. So you might have heard about the Chatgpt, but I'm not sure whether you had heard about all the other different AI models that has done similar revolution in the past and had gained some popularity, but they have, by the time they had faded away. So here are a few of them. The first one is IBM's Deep Blue. IBM's Deep Blue is actually, a chess playing AI. So basically, at that time, it has defeated its grandmaster in the world. He's the best player of the chess in the world, Kasparov, in the chess game in 1997. So you can see how, in 1997 itself, this revolution would happen. So basically, an AI had defeated a chess player, real life chess player, right? And then IBM Watson, defeated Brad Rutter in some of the other game, Ken Jennings, and Ken Jennings in the Jeopardy, right, in 2011. And then after, so DeepMind's AlphaGo, that basically defeated in a Go. There is a game called Go, which has defeated Lee. And again, DeepMind is actually one of the Google's Google's child company. So DeepMind's again, basically, StarCraft is another game which basically defeated its champion player in them, right? And again, the Facebook defeats some other professional poker players and all. So these are basic, AIs that is, doing its task in the past. And you might have also heard of the LXNet challenge. If you're not, you can just go and search for the LXNet challenge. Sorry, ImageNet challenge, not LXNet. So ImageNet challenge is basically where you have millions of categories of the images and then you have to classify. So basically, image classification model. So that actually, you can also learn about the history. So that's a very brief and sophisticated history, right? And then another Facebook case study, I would just like to tell you that's an interesting case study. So basically what happened, there was a underage child, basically less than 18-year-old. So she saw some ads of baby care products, right? But her father, when her father was controlling her account and then he saw that she's having these kind of ads, so basically her father got offended why she's having a baby care product, right? Like really small baby, newborn baby care products. So he got angry and he sued Facebook, and then Facebook apologized based on that as well. But later it came to know that that girl was actually pregnant, right? So even their family members, even that girl was unaware of that, but Facebook was aware of that because Facebook was having, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information about her, and it was analyzed based on its artificial intelligence and that ad serving technique, right? So that is the power of data, and that's how the power of AI works, right? Now, what is NLP? Basically, NLP is one of the root from where this Chatgpt is derived. So, natural language processing is a field of this machine learning or computer science, you can say, in artificial intelligence, that focuses more on understanding the natural language that we speak. For example, I'm speaking English, someone might speak Hindi as well. So any language, these are called natural language that we speak to communicate ourselves. So if the model, if a machine is able to understand this kind of natural language, so that one is called under natural language processing, right? So that includes understanding, interpreting, and generating human language. So that involves a range of techniques, methods in statistical modeling and machine learning, algorithm for linguistics, right? So there are a lot of challenges in this as well. There are some applications in this, like you can use in the language translation, you can use in the chatbots in virtual agents. So when we talk, we just give the inputs in terms of text. So how that text box, how the chatbot is basically able to understand the text input based on the NLP only. And we can also do sentiment analysis, like based on some reviews and all on the products or on the movies, right? How the reviews are going, like whether people are writing positive or negative. So that can be thought of as a sentiment analysis task. Okay. Now, what is Chat GPT? So I just asked the same question to the Chat GPT because this is the task of the Chat GPT itself. Okay. So when I ask Chat GPT that describe yourself, so what Chat GPT gave the answer that's written over here. So the ChatGPT said, I am an AI language model developed by OpenAI. My purpose is to assist user in generating human-like text based on the prompts given to me. So if I ask the question, any question to the ChatGPT, it will be able to answer that based on what I have asked and what it has been trained on. So basically, before answering that, it has been trained on the a humongous amount of the data on the world, right? Even though the Chat GPT, what does the GPT stand for? Generative pre-trained modeling, right? Generative pre-trained modeling. So basically, it is a generative model and it is pre-trained on the text data. Generative pre-trained text generator. So this is that, and you can see here the mode of the definition that says I have been trained on diverse range of text and topics, and that enable me to respond in a wide variety of questions and generate text various subjects on a high level of coherence and consistency, right? Basically, the best part about ChatGPT is that it does not just answer your question, but also it keeps the context as well. For example, in past, if one chat in past you have asked some question, so it will also know the context of that particular question. There are various versions of ChatGPT you might not know. That is basically ChatGPT 3 that we particularly use. GPT 3.5 was a developer beta. GPT 4 has been recently launched, but it is part of GPT Plus, ChatGPT Plus. So you cannot use ChatGPT by OpenAI ChatGPT by default. For that, you need to join ChatGPT Plus, and GPT-4 also enables the image-based responses as well, right? So it has advancement in that. I have also created one application. I'll tell you how exactly that has been built and what does it do. But before that, let's see the next one. How can we create an NLP model, right? So basically, I'll talk about few more about things. This ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, as I said, is nothing but a generative model. What is a generative model? Generative models are basically that takes the input, decomposes it into its key components, and then it can generate with the help of those key components, it can generate again a different looking things. For example, if I talk about the text summary, if I talk about the text summarization, so when I give a topic, let's say I tell a story, right? So the same story has to be summarized in different words. So this is a classic example of generative modeling, right? So I give a text, I need some similar thing, but on a different text, right? So let's say I have given a paragraph, right? Or I have given few paragraphs and I need again few paragraphs. So the input and output are the same, but they are changing it. For example, if a generative model is being trained on different images of humans, right? So it can generate a new face of human that has never seen, right? So it will learn the it will learn the properties in the image, that it knows that this is an eye, this is a nose, these are the properties, this should always present in a human's face. So if it is trained on different images, then it can generate a new image on its own. So that's a typical generative model. And this ChatGPT is basically text-based generative model, right? So when you give a text, it will give another text, and basically it generates the answer what you're looking for, right? Because it has been trained on the wide variety of the contextual data, right? So I'll just show you like how can we create an your NLP model. So basically, first thing is that you must have the data. If you do not have the data, then you can go for the data collection. And typically talking about an NLP model, then definitely that will be a text data, right? So once you have got the data, you need to do pre-processing, because in the data, in the text data, everything is not of our use. So like stop word removal or punctuation removal, you might be knowing about the comma, dot. So basically, they do not do a lot of things in the understanding the knowledge, the context of the text basically. So we'll remove the punctuation, we'll remove the stop words. Stop words, again, nothing but that it does not have any sentiment in general. For example, a, the, is, this, and all that, they do not have any particular sentiment in that. So this is basically, these are we remove, these are called pre-processing. And there are some other techniques of pre-processing as well. Then we will transform our data. See, the model will not take the text-based data always. Like never, it will never take the text-based data. It will take the numerical data. So we have various techniques of text to integer transformation. Like we have count vectorizer, word to vec. These are the popular technique that we use to transform the data from text to vector, and numerical vector actually. So these models, basically, when you go deeper, then you'll be able to understand how exactly they work. And then once you have done these pre-processing, then you can do modeling of the data. Means you can create either the generative models, the part of speech tagging, the sentiment analysis, text classification, text summarization. So last two, text summarization and generative models, these are basically the same. Text summarization is one of the application. Generative modeling is one of the broader application of it, right? So text summarization comes under the generative model. So all this in a nutshell, this is how you can create an NLP model. And similar, this ChatGPT is also created. So it has been trained on all the different possibility of text data that you can think of, that is available on the internet. It is really time and processing exhaustive task. So it will use a huge amount of time. It will take huge amount of processing power to train based on these data, and it needs continuous training as well for the current context, right? So the data and the processing and like the transformation, so that's all is done. And this chat gpt, as I said, comes under this generative model, right? So that's how the thing has been. So given this webinar has a time limit, this is what I could say about it. And I will so that's it. That's about this today's session, guys. Thanks a lot for joining this. If you have any question regarding whatever I have gone through, you can simply go and ask your questions. Do anyone have any question?
Guys, come on, ask your questions. Akash is here to answer all your queries.
Okay, so Saran says no questions. Anyone else have any question? Anyone among you? Nope. So I hope, like, for I know that if somebody ask you how to create an NLP model, that will be really hard to answer, but you exactly know the process. You exactly know where this chat GPT falls into all this whole cluster of machine learning, data science, and all that. uh, so yeah, so there's one question: how chat GPT can be leveraged for security? And there is another question. So in AI, the machine learning, which is more preferable and easy to understand, sir. So see, as I said, AI is a broader term, broader perspective. AI is the superset of all the other things. There will be some extra things that you will not see in machine learning, but in AI. So AI in general is a superset that contains more things than the machine learning. So definitely machine learning will be more um, easy to understand and also go through. That also depends on what is your interest particularly. You may also feel good in understanding a different aspect of AI, but not these complex machine learning techniques, because it involves a lot of math and statistics and all, vector calculus and algebra, right? So Bhargavi says how ChatGPT can be leveraged for security. See, ChatGPT, if you ask this question, to the ChatGPT itself, so ChatGPT will be able to answer this better. So basically, see, ChatGPT is a text-based responsive model. So, sorry, sometimes in between I just cough and this again a different virus coming into. So no issues. See how ChatGPT can be leveraged for its security. So basically, if you ask the security related questions, so based on the data available online or the data it has been trained on, it will tell you some security things that you can do for your particular task, whatever you are concerned about. Typically, ChatGPT is a different kind of application. This is a text-based generative model. So if you give it a text, then it will give you another response. So if you want to ask any question regarding security, it will be able to answer that question maybe regarding that security concern. Okay. Will it really replace human job? See, I don't think so that it is going to replace human jobs, but I would say that it is going to assist. Like if humans are also getting smarter and smarter every day, right? So they will be assisted by these AI things, not replaced. Ultimately, let's say if an AI is actually easifying our job, that means there will be less human power to do that, right? And that you can say, let's say previously, when there was a call center job, right? Call center job has been totally, moved into the we can say chatbots available on the websites, right? Or IVR services that also has sometimes we have AI based responses as well in there. So it is going to take those lame jobs that can be done by anyone. So in order to keep yourself updated in the market, you must know the advanced things that these ChatGPT cannot do. Yeah, it will affect, definitely it will affect. It is going to assist us on all the different aspects of the jobs, right? So the final call that has to be taken for us, has to be taken by us only, but it can assist us on giving different broader perspective of the matter. Great question, by the way. Okay, sir, as an engineering student, which one is better to get a good package? Ishwar. See, once again, I think you do not have an idea about what is superset or what is subset. See, a superset means a broad topic, subset means some part of the same thing, right? So the Venn diagram that I had shown you, let me just show you that again. See, this whole box, big box is the AI, and this is small, this one curved square is nothing but the machine learning, right? So what all comes under machine learning, that will come under AI. So you cannot just go and learn everything in AI and everything in machine learning in the starting. You will start at somewhere. It's better to start at machine learning. If you have capability, it's a very broad topic, as I said. Even there are researches going on in the deep learning. So don't think that you'll be able to learn everything and then you can go into AI as well. But just start with machine learning and then figure out what your interests are, right? Just try and go, what exactly is AI, what is machine learning, just go a brief understanding of these and check out your interest, and based on that work unit. Do not go for the package, because there will be similar package in these ML and AI. It's not a very different topic like web development and data analysis, right? These are very similar tasks. These requires very similar skill sets as well. These requires very similar jobs as well. Okay. So the package wise, you will not see any difference. Sometimes you will see some companies giving good package to AI engineer, some companies giving good package to ML engineer. So there is literally no difference between in terms of package. It's better to go with what you love to do. So just explore the things, just see what suits you, what you like to do, what you love to do, and based on that, you can choose any one of these. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. If there is no question, then that's it. I guess we can wrap up the call. So that's, guys. Thanks for joining. Again, if you have any question, you can ask. And but I've stopped my sharing screen. Yeah, Shravani, you can take over now.
Okay, guys, thank you for
Thank you, sir.
joining. There is a link posted in the chat box. Yeah. Thank you so much, Akash, for the session, for your amazing insights on ChatGPT. I would further like to take this ahead, and all the students, you guys can fill this form for receiving the ebook copy all about this session, and further more insights about the sessions, ongoing sessions which we are going to take ahead for the upcoming webinars.
So I would just like to add something into this. See, these things are not. Don't just expect that you are gonna get everything from here. Like you're gonna get you are just going to be an expert in ChatGPT and all in just a seminar. This is just to let you understand what are these and figure out what you like to do. And then if you are interested in this, you can do more research and then you can come and join for one of our courses if you want. So this is just for understanding the basic understanding of what these things are, how do they correlate, and what is happening in the real world right now. And one more thing, Savani, I think make sure that you have sent the link for everyone, not a particular user. Just check it and send, because I have not received in the chat. As you see.
Thank you, Akash. All right, guys, I would ask you all to stay back. Okay, great. So I would ask you all to stay back for a while. I'll just be showing you the portal onto which you'll be getting more such webinars and you can join through. All right, is my screen visible? Yeah, so this is our app, guys. We have newly launched it. From here, you just have to install the app and you can start learning such free sessions, such free webinars as well, and upskill yourself. Along with that, I'll also show you the LMS portal which we have, so that you guys can also go to the website and check our programs which are related to the webinar topics which we are taking in. So this is our platform onto which we are offering courses into various domains. So if you would like to learn from such mentors, you can surely go ahead and log in and join into any of these courses. All right, anyone has any questions or any queries regarding to the session or anything which you didn't understand, you can please drop in the chat box. or anyone who likes to ask more on how the sessions are going to go ahead in the upcoming future, you can ask now. Yes, Sharon, you can simply download the app and turn on the push notifications as well, and you can see all the data over there as well. Along with that, you can also go on the website skillvertex.com and sign in into that. Sign up, sorry. Also, make sure all of you have filled the ebook form so that you can receive the ebook copy in like 24 to 48 hours. You'll be receiving the ebook copy over your mail. So please fill the ebook form. All right. Any more questions you guys can ask in the chat box or raise your hands. We can unmute you as well. So please go ahead. We also have our placement training program starting from April in digital marketing and full stack development. So you can check that out as well on the website about the features and everything. All right, great. Uh, Fine. I can see everyone has filled the form. So I'll still you'll get a link posted. So just make sure that you are tuning into more such webinars which we are launching. The next webinar we have on coming Wednesday. So Venkatesh, you can simply sign up to the website and also download the app for more updates upon this. And we'll surely have a webinar on cybersecurity as well. So need not worry. All right. Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you. It was such a wonderful time with you all. Keep checking on the upcoming webinar notifications which you'll be getting. Thank you. Thank you for joining.